In today's video, we're gonna go over some really easy strategies that you can use during the holidays to stay on track with your nutrition while also not feeling super restricted and being able to enjoy every single meal you have for Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, Christmas, because really, you don't wanna end up in a situation where you can't enjoy that time with your family, you can't enjoy those meals. So first of all, we're gonna discuss some concepts you need to understand going into this time of the year. And then at the end, I'll give you some action items to apply going away from this video to make sure that you're able to stay on track during the holidays. Now, the first concept we need to understand is that you are an athlete. And sure, the average American is gonna gain about 6 to 10 pounds during the holidays, but the average American isn't training for basketball, isn't going into basketball season during the holidays, because really that's when basketball season starts. Of course, given the COVID situation, it might be later for you, but some of you might be going into your season during that normal time. And remember, as an athlete, you don't want to be in a calorie deficit going into your season because you're not going to be performing as well as you should be. Your injury risk is going to go up. Your illness risk is going to go up. So you really shouldn't be worrying about fat loss during the holidays anyway. And moving on to the second concept, let's say for whatever reason you are in a situation where you do need to lose body fat. Maybe you just want to look a little leaner or you want to feel lighter going into your season, whatever the case may be. Going through the holidays is not really the best time to attempt to lose body fat. Why? Because again, like we just said, you have to be in a calorie deficit to lose body fat, and all the holiday meals, holiday parties, although holiday parties might not be happening as often given the current situation in the world, but all those meals that could potentially add up are gonna make it very difficult to stay in a calorie deficit without feeling like you're restricting yourself. And you really don't wanna be restricting yourself super heavily going into the holidays unless you're like a weight class athlete, which if you're watching this channel, you're probably not, because you're not gonna be able to enjoy those meals and enjoy that time with your family. So instead of trying to lose body fat during the holidays, even if the end goal is to get a little leaner, what I would do during the holidays is try to focus on maintenance. Maybe you can recomp a little bit, maybe you can build some muscle, or just focus on performance because you are an athlete, so that's the main goal anyway. But try to shift the goal away from fat loss going into the holidays if you can, because that'll put you in a position to actually enjoy this time of the year instead of wondering, oh, why can everyone else have cookies while I'm just sitting here eating my chicken, rice, and broccoli? And of course, even if you are enjoying yourself during the holidays, most of your meals should be coming from whole unprocessed food. That doesn't change, but you want to have that freedom to enjoy yourself when you want to. So the action item from today's video is just to create a set of principles that you can stick to during the holidays to make sure that you are able to stay on track in terms of feeling good, in terms of performing well, because if you're just going crazy at every single Thanksgiving and Christmas meal or party, you're not going to feel the best, and if you don't feel the best, you're not going to perform your best. So you still want to make sure you're following a set of principles that are conducive to the body composition that you want and conducive to the way that you want to feel and perform. For example, you could set a hydration goal that you hit every day. That doesn't require you to be restrictive at all. It's super easy to do and it has a lot of benefit. You can set a step count goal for the day. So if you're trying to lose body fat, maybe you're in a category again where you want to lose body fat to look leaner or be lighter, increase your vertical jump, whatever the case may be. If you want to do that, setting a step goal, so 10,000 steps or 12,000 steps is kind of ideal for that situation, will help you to increase your calorie expenditure, making it easier to get into a calorie deficit without having to restrict your food intake as much. Another thing you could focus on is sleep. Regardless of the time of the year, regardless of your goal, sleep is extremely important and every basketball player should be paying attention to this. And then of course, I would track your food as well if you can, because tracking really isn't restrictive. It actually gives you more freedom because you know how many calories you're taking in, you know what your macronutrient intake is, so that way you can make it work around your holiday meals when you do want to go a little bit, I don't want to say overboard, but when you do want to enjoy yourself a little bit more. And that's not an exhaustive list, so you can come up with whatever you want. Just come up with a set of guiding principles going into this time to keep you in a position where you're feeling well, performing well, and on track to the body composition that you want without being overly restrictive. Now, if you want to learn the basics of how to put together a nutrition plan for muscle gain or fat loss, I have playlists on the channel. The one that's popping up on the screen right now is a muscle gain nutrition plan playlist where I take you start to finish through that entire process, the exact process I use with all the athletes that I work with. So go ahead and check that out. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like on it and subscribe so you don't miss the videos every single week.